want to do trade with UK, and they want to do trade with us. And to be honest with you, this deal, under certain aspects of the deal, you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't trade.
Well,
I mean, we can't make a trade deal with the UK, and we can be – because I think we can do many times the numbers that we're doing right now, and certainly much bigger numbers that you're doing under the European Union.
Well,
so
I'm like you.
I know Boris wants to be very careful with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem.
Because under certain ways we're precluded, which would be ridiculous.
Yeah,
frankly.
that's the problem.
Corbyn would be so bad for your country. He'd be so bad. He'd take you in such a bad way. He'd take you into such bad places. Look, I don't know. I'm sure he's a lovely man, but he's of a different persuasion, to put it mildly.
Well,
perhaps
he isn't.
The opposite.
He's
at the opposite end.
He says.
Oh yeah, Boris and I have a great friendship. We've become friends. Boris and I, when he was running, they were saying, he's the Trump. We have a lot of the same things going, I guess. Boris is a terrific guy. He really is. You know that. He's a terrific guy.
He brings energy.
I think you need it. I think it was time for Boris. It was time. You needed him. He's a fantastic man, and I think he's the exact right guy for the times. And I know that you and him will end up doing something that could be terrific. If you and he get together, it's unstoppable force.
He says if we have a trade deal, Donald Trump, it'll be a Trump Brexit, and Trump will come and take over our National Health Service. What do you have to say to him?
No, not at all. We wouldn't even be involved in that. No, we're trying to fix our health service. We all have our health service problems, and frankly, and you do over there, and we do. And one of the things that we're running so successfully on is how great a job I've done on health care. We've done a fantastic job. No, it's not for us to have anything to do with your health care system. No, we're just talking about trade. I don't even know where your health care system started with respect to us taking over your health care system. I mean, it's so ridiculous. I think Corbyn put that out there. Visit with the Queen, who, by the way, is a great, great woman. And I think we hit it off really well. We had a terrific time. But she's a great woman.
She's amazing. She's
I say that very seldom. I don't say that often, I have to say, about anybody. But she is really very outstanding. And Prince Charles, so good, so good. He loves the environment. He loves your country so much. We had a great time. We'll get together. Well, I've been watching her interviews, and I've seen it, and she's taken it very personally. I guess you have to be a little bit different than that, but she takes it very, very personally, and I can understand it. But I don't know her. I will say I met Harry. He's great. I met him when I was over at that incredible – we had something that was so incredible recently. That was, 5 months ago now, how time flies. But I got to meet Harry, and he is really a fine young man. The whole family is. I think the whole family is terrific. It's great.
You tried to broker a meeting, didn't you, in the White House between...
Well, I had a meeting set up, but all of a sudden, I guess lawyers got involved. But I had a meeting set up. They were both in the White House. I met with the parents of the young boy, very nice people. And I had watched them, and the reason I did this is for Boris, actually. Boris called. He said, would it be possible for you to do something?
Okay.
I met with the young lady that was driving the car, and she had a very compelling story to tell. And then they were in separate rooms, and when I wanted to introduce them to each other so they could really grieve together, the parents didn't want to meet her. And yet when I watched them being interviewed in UK, they very much wanted to meet her. So I don't know what went, I guess things happen, things change. But
that was disappointing,
she was
obviously.
in the next room.
Today, the British police have actually interviewed her about the incident. I mean, are there circumstances here, if Boris asked, where she could come back to the UK to face charges?
Well, I'd have to see what the final facts are.
And, of course, we have to talk about, and I'm sure it's the last subject you want to talk about, but the Ukraine and this preliminary vote that has passed in the House this afternoon. I mean, They say, the other side, that you used your position to ask the Ukrainian government to look into Biden, the Biden family background, and in doing that, you'd asked effectively for foreign interference in a national election.
Yeah.
How do you respond to that?
Yeah, it's totally false. We have a transcript. There was an exact transcript of the meeting. And anybody that reads the transcripts understands it was a perfect phone call with the Ukrainian president, who's a very fine man, a very nice person. And we had a great call, and it was a very appropriate call. Many people were on the call. I knew many people were on the call. Not to mention, I'm sure they had many people on the call. But there were many people on the call, and it was a very, very appropriate call. And in fact, when it came up, sometime after the call was made, when it came up, I said, "Oh, well, that's okay. There's nothing there." Having a good memory, and then you could see the Democrats are desperate. They're desperate. They have nothing. They've got nothing going. We really call them the do-nothing Democrats. And it's really sticking because they're doing nothing. And it's the only way they're going to try and win the election this way, because they can't win it the fair way. Just so you know, I love doing it. I had a great life before, including going to Turnberry and going to Aberdeen and
playing
going
golf
to Doonbeg, in Ireland,
and
going
being
to
free,
a lot of different places there,
being free and living your own life, and that's all gone, isn't it?
I'll never have that again.
No, you won't.
I'll never have that again.